I am Toka Murphy. This is Canadian car culture, and let me introduce to you the 2020 Volvo S60 T8 Polestar Engineered. When you think of European cars, you think of Audis, Mercedes, BMWs, but often you overlook Volvos. Volvo, it's a Swedish brand owned by an Asian company. Now the base price for this car is about $80,000. This car optioned out, which is the one we're in right now, is around $84,000. Question is, why is this car so expensive and is it worth the price? Well, we're going to find that out in this video, but before that, we're going to take this car to the car wash because it's a bit dirty. Now, to fully understand why this car is so expensive and to find out if it's worth the cost, we need to break down the technical specs. The first thing you should know about this car is that it's a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. It has a 2-liter, 4-cylinder, twin-charged engine. Now what twin-charged means, it means that it has a supercharger and a turbocharger. So the turbocharger is supposed to make up for the supercharger in the high RPMs, and then the supercharger is supposed to make up for the turbocharger in the low RPMs. Now horsepower, the engine produces 328 horsepower and the electric motor produces 87 horsepower. So you could say it has a combined total of 415 horsepower. Same thing with the torque. The engine produces 317 pound-feet of torque and the electric side produces 177 pound-feet of torque, making it a combined total of 494 pound-feet of torque. Now, I personally really like the transmission in this car. It has an 8-speed automatic transmission and it feels amazing. It engages very quickly, it's smooth, and it's very responsive. This car is an all-wheel drive car, but when you put it in electric mode only, it turns into a rear-wheel drive car, and that's when you can have some real fun. Also, Volvo claims that this car does 0 to 60 in about 4.6 seconds. I've seen some other reviews say 4.3, I've seen another one say 4.9, so we can say it's the mid-to-high 4 seconds. As for fuel consumption, it's claimed to do 11.1 liters for every 100 kilometer in the city. Same thing in the highway, supposed to be 7.3, making a combined of 9.4. But I've been driving it for the past week in the city of Toronto, and I've been averaging around 10.3 liters for every 100 kilometers. Also, the electric motor has 11.6 kilowatt hours of lithium-ion battery. It takes about 2 hours to charge on a level 2 charger, and gives you around 33 kilometers in range. This car comes standard with 19-inch forged alloy rims, and these rims are only designated for the Polestar engineering fleet. As you can see, it comes with a huge braking kit system from Brembo that's unbelievable stopping power. This car comes with winter tires that are from Pirelli, the Soto Zeros, but unfortunately the tire does not have enough grip to keep up with the stopping power these brakes have to offer, but they do the job for the winter. So we've just parked the car after a long day of driving, and I can honestly say I love this car. Now you need to understand that this car is a luxury car and not a sports car. So by saying that, the manually adjustable shocks by Öhlins, I've been trying to loosen them as much as possible. Unfortunately, no matter what I do, this car still rides very stiff, which is quite bothersome for a luxury car. But luckily, the comfortness in this car compensates for that. I mean, these seats are so comfortable. I can honestly fall asleep in here and spend my nights in this car. And while I'm in the interior, this car also speaks luxury to me. There's leather everywhere. There's leather on the front dash, there's leather on the steering wheel, by the doors, by the center console, and the rear seats. This car is fully leathered out, and it is quite comfortable at that. As you can see, gold is the theme here. There's gold seat belts, there's gold speakers, there's gold paint on top of the calipers. The black and gold with the charcoal interior is an excellent touch to this car. Now, the infotainment system. The infotainment system has been getting a lot of hate by a lot of people for some reason. They're claiming it's not responsive, it's too hard to navigate. But after having this car for a week, I can truly say it's very responsive and it's very easy to navigate. I mean, by clicks of a button, I have exactly what I want, and it's pretty handy. If the rear headrest seats are bothering me while I'm looking at my rear view mirror, there's a button here that lets me click on it and it automatically folds down the rear head seats, which makes my view as bright as day in the rear. Now, one thing you have to understand is that this car does take some getting used to. What I mean by that is that this shifter has a double tap feature, meaning if you want to go into drive or reverse, you always have to pass through neutral and then get into your gear. So if I'm in reverse and I want to go into drive, I have to go through neutral, and then I have to click again to get into drive. So if I'm in drive and I want to get into reverse, I have to click once to get into neutral and then click again to go into reverse. So with that, it's not a big downside, it just takes some getting used to. After driving for a week, I'm already so used to it, I just automatically do it. Now, my favorite feature of this car is the Gothenburg Concert Hall. This is a speaker setting that is outstandingly the best I've ever been in by far. Now, whenever I play any type of music, I feel like I'm in some type of orchestra or concert hall, and it just sounds so amazing. Even if you put it into the regular studio mode, it still sounds very good. These speakers by Bowers & Wilkins are honestly the best speakers I've ever heard in any car, and I absolutely love them. So by now you should understand why this car is so expensive. It has great features, it's well optioned out, it's a plug-in electric hybrid vehicle, it also has amazing performance. Some people shy away from Audis, BMWs, Mercedes because they find those cars too loud and luxury. That's why Volvo made a car that's perfect for the market that wants a subtle and discreet, luxurious car. In my opinion, this car is definitely worth the price. I've had this car for a week and I absolutely love it, and I hate to give it back. That's a wrap.